NextEra Energy Resources is a leading clean energy provider and a developer of cutting-edge wind farm projects. NextEra has 3 projects in Michigan's Thumb region: Tuscola Wind 1, Tuscola Wind 2, and Pheasant Run. Together, they represent a total of 350 megawatts of wind energy, enough to power about 140,000 homes. NextEra needed a partner to develop the interconnections to the high-voltage grid.
I need to know exactly what's going on, what's going to have to be built, and how much does it cost, what are the milestones, what are the timelines.
ITC planning engineers coordinated with regional grid operator MISO to determine how and where the wind farm should connect to the transmission system.
The generator will choose their initial PO, point of interconnection, that they like to have, and then we will review that along with the surrounding area to see where the most cost-effective and efficient place to connect and inject that generation is on the ITC system. It'll go through a 2-stage process. The first stage is called the system impact study phase. In that, we will review the impact of the injection of the megawatts on the surrounding transmission system. Can the lines in the surrounding area handle the flow? And then from a stability and dynamic standpoint, will it affect the performance of the surrounding generation in a negative way? The next phase is called the facility study, and that is the preliminary engineering review of any upgrades that were identified during the system impact study. So, for instance, if we identify that a new line needs to be built to help this generator interconnect, we push that through the facility study, and engineering will review it and provide their preliminary cost estimates. A preliminary operation guidelines form will be provided, and these will feed through into the appendices of their generator interconnection agreement.
That's when we really get into the meat of the project, is when we actually get the engineers together and start putting stuff down on paper and start trading diagrams and things.
They knew the right questions to ask, and they placed high expectations on us to begin with.
Bob Schultz, a veteran project manager at ITC, set up a comprehensive team to supervise the design and construction.
They are well educated. They've certainly done a lot of other design work for other projects as well, and I would say they brought their A game to this project, especially knowing that we were under the tight timing situation that we were, and there wasn't much room for mistakes.
We kept everything on track, on budget, up to date. They bring a team approach. I mean, when we come into these meetings, there will be 8 or 9 folks from ITC, from engineering, from operations, from materials procurement, the land people. I mean, they bring an entire team together to look at it. And we all sit down in the same room and we all kick things around and make sure that everybody's buying into the solution at the same time.
We were careful not to make promises that we didn't know that we could deliver on, but we did make commitments and we met them all, and in the end the project was a success.
ITC is well staffed. ITC has got well-educated, experienced folks, and once you get a project off and running, things go along timely, things get completed, things get checked off. I'm very pleased with how things work.
When it comes to wind farms in particular, the timing, at least in my experience, has always been at least as tight as usual, maybe more so. And I think that the level of expertise that we encounter on the part of the customer's part is high, because although they may not be directly involved in the transmission industry, they've had a lot of experience with it. So they speak the lingo, they know what the obstacles are, they know the right questions to ask, and in general it's easier to interact with people like that than somebody who does not have that experience, and you have to explain a lot of things to them, and in some cases they don't believe you.
Despite the tight schedules, all materials and equipment were delivered on time thanks to efficient work by ITC's supply chain organization.
ITC was able to turn around having the parts and equipment on site quicker than I thought they would, and then get them installed and in service such that our high wind revenue season wasn't impacted. That was a welcome outcome.
My project management career is over 30 years long now, and I think we have one of the best supply chain organizations I've ever seen. It's
been a very good, very collaborative process working with ITC. They're very open to good engineering solutions. They're willing to work with us. They put a team together to bring all the people into play, and things proceed forward just like you would expect them to.
I think that frankly what helps us in doing these projects is that in addition to interacting with us to bring the transmission asset to the game, they are also distracted by what they have to do, which is to build the wind farm in the first place, which is a very challenging task to begin with. So we specialize in doing what we do best and making it as painless for them as possible so they can focus on what they do, which is the building of the solar array or the building of the many wind turbines that go into the building of the wind farm. And we meet together at the church steps at the right time and get married, and things are good.
Everything got interconnected. We got backfeed power when we were supposed to, and we were extremely happy with the result.
All 3 projects came online as scheduled. They're delivering 350 megawatts of wind energy into Michigan's electric grid.